Damn, man, this trip has been really fun, but I'm kind of, dreading to go back home. Just, taxes and I have to pay and work and I got school. And... What?
What's up?
I just remembered, dude. Not a single episode of our podcast has ever passed the Bechdel test.
Oh, shit.
I mean, we got close that one time, but like...
Yeah, the close isn't good enough, Like, not a single episode has ever passed the Bechdel test.
Not a single one.
Not one.
Damn, man. Well,
what do we do now?
Man with the sunglasses, what is the worst thing you have done behind somebody's back?
Oh, don't TikTok me, brother.
And welcome back to Jake scrolling through his Peacock feed to try to download Do the Right Thing to watch on the plane tomorrow.
he just canceled the download.
Because it wasn't working. Favorite podcast where we watch Jake try to figure out how to use a mobile
Guys,
app.
don't worry. Whenever we get together in person, we don't plan anything ahead of time. We just do the same thing.
Uncut,
going.
uncensored, baby.
Uncut. Speak for yourself, buddy.
Uncut, uncensored, at least
unlabeled, unfigured out, unbelievable,
Undecided.
inconceivable,
inconceivable, unbelievable, non-believable,
super intelligent, mastermind, freakazoid. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast.
That was insane, actually.
I like how
that was really cool.
these past 3 episodes, the sun has been setting if you're watching the episodes. Because the first one, it was bright outside. The second one, the sun was setting. And now this one, it's dark outside.
We've actually recorded these all in one sitting.
Yeah.
We
were making shit up, bro. We didn't even go to the Brat Rave yet.
Oh, my God.
We've been doing a thing where every morning we kind of lay out what we want to do for the day. And then we just kind of like are super tired from the last day. And we just kind of procrastinate doing it. And the last few days, we've kind of like picked up energy like around midday, so you kind of see the sun setting. But today we had a full-on rot day.
It was totally
Jackson's
rot.
fault. It was all Jackson's fault.
It was a little bit my fault. I spent all day transferring my album of the year scores to Rate Your Music because I finally made the switch. Guys, follow me on Rate Your Music at Jackson Burns.
Fucking God. Let me just say this, guys. I'm a nerd, so I keep track of the Rate Your Music updates, and if you're still on album of the year at this point after the search engine update,
yeah, there's no excuse.
There's no excuse anymore. You have to switch. There's absolutely no excuse. Yeah. Does it still sound shitty?
Yeah, we're good. No, we're good.
Okay.
Cool.
If fuck, what was I saying? Oh yeah,
album of the year.
If the AI, not the AI, the UI, the UI may still
user interface
may still look very old,
but not even really though.
Not even really.
It does.
When was the last time you were on Rate Your Music?
Like 30 minutes ago.
Okay, here's the thing. If you have passed high school, you can go on rateyourmusic.com.
That's actually very true.
It's not like, like an old like binary video game, like
it's
got
the best,
there's 5 stars. You click how many stars you like the album.
But here's the thing though, you get so much more information per page.
Yeah, the genre database alone.
Like you're telling me
switch.
I have to scroll up. Like if I'm just looking at it on my phone, you're telling me I have to scroll up multiple times to look at what 8 albums on album of the year because it takes up the majority of the page, the covers. Do you like that?
No, I mean it's purely visual for me when it comes to. I mean, I'm not even I don't chart on album of the year or rate.
That's fair.
I just look for like categorization, and actually, now that I think about it, I only really use like Rate Your Music for the categorization. So
because the genres there are really.
I like
solid.
how album of the year looks better, but I think Rate Your Music is more utilitarian. I think you get more done.
I think it just sucks because my thing is like Letterboxd is just better in every single way. Like,
they
UI
have done such a good
Letterboxd
job.
looks really good.
And I think the one thing that album of the year and Rate Your Music, but this is the worst conversation ever. The one thing that the album of the year and Rate Your Music are missing that Letterboxd does so well is that you can log when you watch a movie. So it's like So it's like when I go to my reviews of like Naked, my favorite movie, I can see all the reviews of like and all how my scores of the movie have changed over time with each watch. You can't do that on either of those the music website.
And it fucking sucks.
You have to just have one score and one review, and you can't like have like, oh, I logged it again on this day, and you can see both entries into my log, which kind of sucks, man.
I think if Rate Your Music or album of the year, like
you got to move your hand. It looks like you are jerking off, Jake.
I think if
Yo,
like
what the
we
fuck?
just. I don't know. I think that there's a music rating website that looked like what?
You gotta move that shit, bro. You gotta move that shit.
This fucking shit, dude.
That's like if I'm over here like
No, dude. I'm gonna get
Mine
clipped.
looked a little too real though.
I'm going to get clipped. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life.
Okay, all right, but no, but like if one of those websites just fully transition, because at least to me, Letterboxd has all of this, cataloging stuff that you can use on there, but primarily it is a social media like site.
Yeah, it
for
is.
movies, and I think if one of those like Rate Your Music or Album of the Year just did that, like focused on the social aspect of it, I feel like it would be so much better.
And I know that everyone's said this a million times, and I'm going to say it again. How long has Rate Your Music been a thing? For at least 10, 20 years.
It's
probably,
been like
right?
over 20 years at this point.
Where's the app?
Where is the app?
There's no excuses.
I
guys.
think there's only like a small group of people that actually like work on the website. So
Yes, but I don't know.
and the only money they get is from like people who
the donations.
don't donate to the site. I donate $20 a year to Rate Your Music because I'm
Well,
a
look
fucking
at you.
weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's the better website. I've swapped over. I don't know.
It's been a long
I had a
time
moment
coming.
today
It's
where
been a
I was
long
just
time
kind of.
coming.
I got to go through all of every single album I've ever rated.
Moments, aka 5.5.
It took me 5.5 hours. But I was going through all my scores, and it really made me realize, like, damn, man, I really gotta get my music game up. Like, it's been a while, and I feel like a lot of today was just reminiscing on old times, and wanting to find
Tacos.
and wanting to find some new music. So if you got any new music recommendations, leave them in the comments.
Hey,
I'll be
and the
checking it.
same thing applies to me too. I've not. I mean, you guys give
Yeah,
me a hard
you
time about
really
it.
good job with the ball.
I need to listen to new music more often. So hey, if there's anything that you all want me to check out, literally anything at all, I'll listen to it. Just leave a comment.
I like listening to music, man. It's the only thing I could do in multiple scenarios where if it's
Yeah.
a movie or something, I have to kind of sit down and lock the fuck in. Or if it's an album, I could be like, yo, I got a bike ride with my name on it. And then, yo, this new Denzel Curry album is burning a hole in my pocket. Let's see what it sounds like.
I need a bike so bad.
No,
dude.
biking is
I need a
really
bike,
incredible,
elite,
bro.
dude. Actually, like elite form of transportation. You guys rank the forms of transportation.
Particle acceleration, bike, car,
Plane,
bullet train.
Plane is up there.
Plane.
I think if plane didn't involve the whole process of going to the airport and leaving airport, I think plane would be number one.
Private
But
jet.
unfortunately,
Luke,
No,
the
but-
private
no,
jet
but- no, but-
ambassador.
No, but private jets are bad for the environment. So that's
Then what do you want?
that's on the bottom.
Then what do you
Luke
want?
loves
I want-
private jets. You heard
I
it here,
want
folks.
eco-friendly plane travel.
Yeah, man. and I want
bro.
head and a good cheeseburger. But listen, I'm just a man. Okay.
Listen, you live in California. You're not getting either of those, bro. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the show.
Music starts now.
Speaking of music, we had for the first time ever, we all listened to an album together
We did.
in the car.
Oh!
Porter
Yeah.
Robinson's
Porter
new
Robinson's
record,
Smile.
Smile, which we were-
Emoticon Smile.
Well, if you want to get
Which I
technical,
think-
we listened to JPEG Mafia's album.
We also
together
did, but
first.
we,
Yeah.
yeah.
From
But
like
you all had
essentially-
already heard
We had
that.
both heard it
we
for the first
it,
time,
yeah.
so me-
and I
yeah.
heard Porter Robinson for the first time, so now we're almost there. 2 out of 3.
I feel like we talked about this a bit in the last episode where you were talking about Smile and you were like,
I
Maybe
think
not.
maybe not actually. I think Porter Robinson's new album Smile, very polarizing for me personally because I remember Nurture and I remember how excellent Nurture was, and then I heard the singles of this new album for Smile and I'm like, yo, this is the worst shit I've ever heard in my entire life. And then I was like, yo, I'll listen to it. I listened to it all the way through, and I don't know, maybe I was just like in a good ass mood, but I listened to it and I was like, yo, this thing actually kind of smacks. And I was telling Jackson about it because he really likes Nurture.
I love
And
Nurture, man.
It was a thing where I was like, damn, you're either gonna love this thing or you're gonna think it's hot ass.
Nurture
and I wasn't
is
wrong,
so
kinda.
good, and I was part of my. I came upon my original rating, and I was debating even bumping Nurture to a 9 because I have it at an 8 right now, and I might honestly. I love that record. It's phenomenal, and I was really excited when I heard that Porter Robinson's new album had come out, and it's getting pretty decent reception overall.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say like most of his fan base like
yeah,
it.
pretty enjoys it.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know much about it. And then Jake, we started talking about it, and literally every single thing you told me about it made me less excited to listen to it.
Yeah, Jackson
Where
wa-
I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I just love. I love so much how nature just like, really is able to like strip itself down and like really just like sit in the moment. And he's like, yeah, man, there's none of that. I'm like,
No,
oh
none of
fuck.
that.
I'm
None
like,
of
oh
that.
yeah, well I know. Well, I'm sure it's got like a lot of lush, nature-esque production. Oh no, man, it's just got none of that.
So you know that vocal effect that you
Yeah, you
really
know-
love
yeah,
all throughout
yeah.
Nurture? Yeah, it doesn't use it
yeah,
a
man, he
single
doesn't
time,
do
bro.
it once, and I was like, okay, so this is just a different album altogether.
pretty
but
much.
I,
Yeah,
but I
pretty
was
much.
I was still pretty excited, because I do love Porter, I do love Nurture, and we put it on, and
It's not good. It's not good.
it's okay. It's okay.
I liked it.
It's not good.
I liked it.
I think that
I think I liked
it
it the
suffers from
least
having an
out
atrocious
of the three
opening
of
track.
us.
The opening track really does put a sour taste.
Yeah,
in
it's
your
really
mouth.
Knock
tough.
yourself out. It's it's funny because
Knock
I looked it up and most
yourself
of his
out.
fans were like a fan of Knock Yourself Out, and
Really?
I just could not think of a worse song to make your opening track. If the opening track was Cheerleader,
That would be awesome.
that would be fucking
Cheerleader
awesome.
is an
Cheerleader
elite
is
Porter Robinson song.
It's a great track. I do like
Cheerleader
a
is
lot.
the best song on the album. Probably
great gym song,
Probably.
guys. If you want to feel like a weeb but also lift heavy fucking weights, listen to Cheerleader in the gym. That shit goes crazy.
I think there was whenever we listened to this in the car, I only liked 4 songs. I only liked 4 songs. Every other one was either just mediocre or I just straight up was not a fan at all.
I'm gonna look at the track list right now.
I can definitely say I was not a fan of Knock Yourself Out. I thought
Agreed.
Yeah, it was just not my vibe at all. Cheerleader was pretty awesome. I really did like Russian Roulette.
Russian Roulette kind of went on for too long, in my opinion.
I agree.
I like the second half of Russian Roulette quite
Yeah,
a bit, actually.
it had good moments, but overall I wasn't
A
the biggest
6-minute
fan.
track is a little wild, low key.
There's a pretty terrible stretch right after that song, though. Everything from Perfect Pinterest Garden to Katsuni Mason Freestyle.
Yeah, that's a rough
I
run.
like Perfect.
That's
Pinterest
a
Garden.
rough stretch.
No, I like Perfect Pinterest Garden. I think it's a fun song.
Year of the Cup, bro. Year of the Family
Yeah,
Cup.
Year of the Family Cup.
That was rough.
The Lil
That
Wayne
one.
sample is so funny, bro.
It's a funny sample, but I don't know. Like he didn't really do much with it. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of it felt kind of like a Midwest emo song where it's like, oh
Oh my
what
God.
the fuck?
Great, we're gonna get copyright now. Thanks,
Yeah,
buddy.
thanks.
It was.
man.
I'm sorry.
I did really enjoy Mona Lisa though.
You guys wonder why we only go on these trips every 2 years.
Mona Lisa with Frost Children was pretty decent. Was pretty good.
I think Mona Lisa and Easier to Love You were the only other 2 songs that I liked.
I like the last song.
People really like Is There Really No Happiness? Like I've seen people online be like that one's really good, and I just don't see it.
I think it's
Don't see
also
it at
hard
all.
because you're saying a lot of names of songs right now that I just don't remember. To be fully honest,
Yeah.
which
It was
is
one of the
rough.
last songs that I'm talking
No,
about.
I know. I'm just saying like it wasn't a very memorable record for me. And-
Yeah.
but with the exception of Cheerleader, I added that to that's going in the playlist. It's gonna be good.
I remember saying when I first heard Cheerleader, I was like, "Yo, hot ass." I'm like, "Damn, this is great."
Really
you know
did
what?
not
I think
bother-
because I watched the music video. Did you see the music video for Cheerleader?
awesome.
Is it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
That Cheerleader?
agree.
Dude, I love it.
I just saw.
Cheerleader? I
yeah.
haven't seen it.
I just saw
It's
Weeb.
fully awesome.
Weeb the entire time, and I was like, "Oh,
Weeb?
Weeaboo." Like,
I mean, yeah,
I watched that, and I was like, "Man, this is actually kind of bad."
Jake hates all anime.
it's shot well.
I haven't. Well, I don't really watch anime, so that actually could be. You might be on something. But my point is, like, then I heard it again, and I told my one friend who really enjoys Porter Robinson. I texted him. I was like, "Yo, I straight up apologize for everything I ever said about Cheerleader. This song's incredible.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
really am
great.
sorry. This song actually fucking rocks." So we're kind of in a almost a Wi-Fi bar, so it's like least second.
Yeah,
enjoy the
yeah,
most. And I'm not saying I love it. I did hype it up a little more than I probably should have on my first listen, because when we really listened to it in the car,
Even you were kind of like, this wasn't as good. as I
I was
Jake-
kinda like,
Jake was like,
ah.
"All right, guys, you guys ready to listen to Smile by Porter Robinson?" And we were like, "Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it."
I was mostly kind of just excited for you guys to hear Cheerleader, and it worked because you guys enjoyed it. So
Okay,
I'm
good,
successful
good, yeah,
with that one because
that's
I really
happy.
fucking like that song.
yeah.
Yeah, good piece.
But do you have anything else to add about the album?
Smile.
or-
Not really. I will say one more thing, just because I know you guys disagree. I'm not loving the album cover on this
Yeah,
one.
bad take.
I think the album cover is fine.
I think album cover
it's
is
fine.
really fucking good.
It's a little
actually.
cornball city to me.
Ooh, don't agree at all. Wow,
Little
that's a
cornball.
terrible idea.
Little cornball.
I love the motif of the inflatable, and I love how it's like stuck inside of the box that is the album cover. I love it. I think it's a great cover.
yeah, we agree to disagree.
Not as good as Nurture,
I
though.
think it's
Definitely not as
we
good as
can-
Nurture.
we
I
can
mean,
agree
that
with
shit. Nurture is awesome.
I love that album
Yeah,
cover.
for sure.
Really wanted to recreate that, but pollen allergies, bro. I can't. I literally
shit.
can't do it, bro.
That's fucked.
Unfortunately.
Well, ratings. What would you guys give the album?
I know I was originally gonna say a 6, but I'm gonna hit it with a 5, man.
that was up from what you said last time.
You said
You said
4
4 last
originally.
time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nah. I'll probably give it a 5.
Okay. I'm probably rocking with a 6, maybe 6.5, depending
Okay.
on the day.
Yeah.
Definitely a 4 for me. Definitely a 4. Was not a huge fan.
Yeah, it's tough.
We're
Not
all
a huge
hovering
fan.
around kind of the same
Yeah, we're
vicinity.
all in a little bubble here.
Yeah.
We're all
Unfortunately,
inflatable
Good
dolls
Enough
crammed into a little
Podcast
box.
thinks it's mid to no bueno.
mid to
Yeah.
mid to
Yeah, however, we did listen to another album.
I was just
Can
gonna say, are we allowed to
can-
talk about
can we
this?
talk about this now that
yeah, a little bit.
now
Wait.
that the
oh
by
yeah
the time this comes out,
yeah, this will be announced.
yeah,
absolutely.
it'll be okay.
We in the car listened to the
We were the-
new record from Jake Joseph.
We were the first people
Me,
to
baby.
listen to
None
it.
other
First
than
people
the man himself.
to hear the album in its entirety. Yes, Prepare Myself to Deal with a Miracle out in October 3rd, I think.
Is that the first time you've said that?
said it out
If
loud?
that date
yes.
changes, the new date's gonna be on the screen right
It
now.
probably won't. 'Cause no way I'm rescheduling that in time.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's October
Awesome.
3rd. Let me just triple check.
Bro's gonna triple check
I'm not
right
triple
now.
checking. You know
Your
what?
phone's
Fuck it.
right there.
Yeah, but
Go-
it's downloading to the right thing.
Bro cannot.
October 4th. October 4th.
October 4th.
Okay,
The
okay.
Friday.
Well,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
you
yeah.
go. There you go.
Yeah, October 4th is coming out. And I gave the gentleman, I was like, yo, guys, I know we got a lot of shit to do on this trip. I want you guys to give it a listen. I want you
Yeah.
guys to hear what's up with it. As
Well,
of now,
we had-
the only
yeah.
thing that you guys have heard is, I think, Metalhead. By the time we're out, maybe we're on the precipice of Kind Gesture, but right now, Metalhead is the only thing that's out.
Well, we had already heard, or at least I had already heard the first 2 singles, the only 2 singles that we put out for it, I think, because we're doing videos for those.
We are doing videos,
Can I
yes.
say that also?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Visualizers,
yeah,
we don't say
yeah. We did
videos.
some.
I mean,
we
you
did some
would have
visualizer
seen the
work.
Metalhead video, which is
Yeah,
a cool little gimmick. I thought
cool
it was
little,
a cool
cool
idea.
little shit.
His idea,
Yep.
low key. So I mean, shout out to Jackson for that one.
But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Do you want to talk about it a little bit, Jake, before we get into the,
Yeah, man.
the review section?
I've been cooking on this one for a long ass time. I think the earliest song that I've had, like date wise, was 2020. I was working on this, like before Super
Before
Jail.
Super Jail came
Before
out.
Super Jail came out, I was
Pre-Super
working
Jail
on
ideas.
this. Yeah, literally pre Super Jail ideas. I had 2 tracks that
Shit's
were
pre-human, bro.
It literally is pre-human. I had 2 tracks that were done, and then over the past like 3-4 years, have just literally been me tweaking and just like adjusting ever so slightly for the past however long until I've got to a point where I'm like, you need to put this out or you're never allowed to put it out. I told my friend as I
Too
was
much
working
tweaking.
on it, I'm like, yo, this is literally what's up. If I don't release this by the end of the year, I'm just not releasing it.
Yeah.
And he's like, fair enough. But I was like, you know what? It's at a point where I think it's good to drop, and I was like, damn it, it's finally here, man.
It's
On the
it's
way,
it's a
as of you watching
swift.
this.
It's much shorter than Super Jail.
Very short. Yeah,
Yes.
shorter.
It's a swift 40 minutes.
37.
37.
yeah,
Less
keeps
than
it
40 minutes.
concise.
Fun
10
fact.
songs.
Fun fact. It used to be 39 minutes, but I got like a personalized vinyl record for myself made, and each side was only allowed to be like 19 minutes. So I had to cut one of the songs shorter so it could fit on the record.
Really?
And I was like, I kind of like it how
like
it's
it
shorter
more,
now,
yeah.
so I'm just gonna
Which
put it out
song
like
can
that.
I ask?
It was Eat Everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Oh, okay,
so I cut
weird.
that a little shorter.
Oh, okay.
It was a little longer, and I cut it a little shorter.
Yeah.
Well, we listened to it, and for any of you all that really like Super Jail, it's better than Super Jail. For any of you all that don't like Super Jail,
You're in luck.
it's better than Super
Super
Jail.
Jail.
It is better. So
Damn, too bad I disagree. This shit sucks.
Shit was awful, bro.
No.
Low key, you should have worked on it for another 4 years, bro.
No, man, it was pretty fucking awesome. I mean, I don't want to give too much. I'm not gonna say any of the track names if you don't want me to.
I think you can say the track names because I'm gonna put
Do you
out
have a
like,
list of the? Do you have a track list with you?
it's
Sorry, I
he
don't
sent
have
it
it.
to
Yeah,
us.
it's in the-
He
it's
sent
in
it to
the-
us in our Epic group
Okay,
chat.
group chat.
I will preface by saying this because I don't remember the song. You will know what I'm talking about immediately. The last song on the album, I think, is your best song ever made.
Really,
It's really, really good, dude.
I was very
What's
nervous.
the call? What's it called again?
Time well spent.
Time well spent.
Time well spent.
Best song
bro.
on the album. I think Jake Joseph best song.
I think Dancer was really
I
awesome.
also really love Dancer.
Dancer
Close-
was pretty
close- close
awesome.
second.
I thought, which was the one with the sample?
With you.
Yeah.
Enter Smiling.
Enter Smiling. Pretty
Enter
awesome.
Smiling.
Not to be confused with Porter Robinson's latest album, Different Smile.
Different Smile.
No, yeah, I
Different.
thought
Better
Enter
Smile.
Smiling
Or
was
Tom
awesome.
York, Different
I
Smile.
thought the 2 singles that you released fit better on the album than they do
Agreed.
as singles. I think that. I think the last 3 songs though, honestly, probably my top
Really?
favorites.
Wow.
Yeah.
You also. I mean, how much do you want to talk about the samples?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I could talk about the ones where I asked and they said yes.
No, I mean us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're
for
both
sure.
sampled on the album. I didn't
Both
know
of
this,
us.
but well, I mean, Luke, you sampled one of Luke's songs on one
Jake
of the tracks.
apparently sampled October 13th. With that being said,
We
it
say
wasn't-
allegedly because
He can't
I
remember.
don't remember.
yeah, Jake doesn't remember which song it was.
Do you still have the FL file?
Yeah, I do actually. Probably.
Oh, we could just
You
check.
probably-
Yeah,
I probably
probably
could.
investigate.
Yeah, actually.
I mean,
facts.
you have 2 of them, so you
Yeah.
must.
yeah.
These kids with the 2 FL files, bro. They're killing me.
But he sampled me, and I remember I thought it was funny because in the car I was like, just whenever I listen to new music, I kind of just let it soak in. So I'm not really saying much when I was listening to it, but I kept looking up and I kept noticing Jake was driving Jackson's car at the
Yeah,
time.
long story.
Long story.
We'll get
but
into that after.
But Jake
Yeah,
was
Jake was
driving
driving.
Jackson's car, and I kept like looking up into the mirror, and I kept seeing Jake looking back at me, and I was like, what's what's going on here? And then
Yo,
he,
bro,
and
trying
then
to
he was
kiss
like,
me?
"What'd you think, Luke?" And I was like, "I really loved that one. It's probably my favorite." And he was like, "Yeah, that was the one with you on it."
That
And
was
I was
you,
like,
yeah.
"Where the fuck was it?" 'Cause I couldn't hear it at all.
Don't even fucking because then after we did it, I was like, "Oh, Luke, play your song," and we listened through it. And I'm like,
And,
"Yo,
well,
I don't remember
which
where
one
it
it
is, dude." Honestly, probably the best thing to do with a sample is if you can't even remember where it is.
Then
Yo,
you're good.
copy-
No,
Copyright free,
that's a one thing that I thought was the sample work was, and this sounds like I'm glazing you because you're my friend, but like legitimately, like
pretty
the
awesome.
sample work was very well done.
Thank you.
And I could not believe that you did it on FL Studio. I think that is so. I don't know.
I don't know anything about FL Studio,
FL
so-
Studio. Here's the thing.
It's
is
the
that-
beat making software.
Yeah, FL
It's
Studio.
FL's beat
FL
making,
Studio mainly like I don't know. I feel like it's viewed in a negative light. It's not really viewed as like a sample heavy like program or
What would that be? More like Ableton or
Yeah.
like?
yeah,
Ableton,
more
Pro
Ableton.
Tools. It's because
Oh, right,
it's
Pro Tools.
beats. It's Soldier Boy's like DAW. That's the whole gimmick of it.
Oh, he
Soulja-
made it?
Soldier Boy made or what his like brand or
Oh,
whatever.
sure, sure.
Because like a
didn't
fun
know that.
fact is like if you can recreate the entirety of Superman, not Superman. That is it called Superman? That?
Superman at home,
Yeah.
watch me go. Crank that.
Crank
Crank
that.
That.
You can recreate Crank That on FL because it just has all the stock sounds
Oh,
in it.
nice.
But like FL is known as like the beat making one because it's like there are patterns and you could like sequence like it's made kind of goo goo gaga if you're doing like beats. It's like drum button.
What's the
boop,
term
boop,
for
boop.
audio interface or
Digital audio workstation, yeah.
Because
For
I was gonna say
workspace.
AI. You can't really say that now because if you're like, oh my audio interface,
Audio
my
interface.
AI, it's like fuck
Yeah.
Yeah, the DAW is like it's
DAW.
mostly known for like beat making, but it's like how, kind of JPEG Mafia said. He's like, God was not happy. With that one. Here's my mic.
All right, let's. I'm really glad there were no water cups there because there were earlier and I moved them. That's crazy.
Dude, that's so
I
fucking
don't-
funny.
Yo, that's not steady at all, dude. The thing is on.
You're gonna have to back that up just slightly. This.
Sorry, guys, camera, but just completely ate shit right on
Dude,
my
that's
desk.
so fucking funny.
Now we're just gonna see my massive stash of porno mags that I keep on my desk.
You're joking, but there is.
Yeah, there is I do have a Playboy magazine here that.
not staying. Like the leg just doesn't go. It has to be off a little bit.
All right. Well, technical difficulties,
Just lift it,
everyone.
just push all of them in. Like
then they slide back.
Oh no, that's fine now.
Way taller now.
Well, I did, like find a middle ground maybe. You also have to you gotta tilt it like.
Are we gonna
rotate it.
edit this out? Fuck it.
No, you gotta rotate the camera.
We're just gonna leave it in.
Because
What's up, everyone? We're gonna
Luke's
leave
cut
this
off
shit
now.
in.
Yeah. There you go.
And now you can see us zooming in and zooming out.
Yo.
This is so fucking funny, bro.
Is that steady? Is that gonna stay?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay, wait. This cable is the problem. So I think someone hit the cable.
Oh,
You guys, it is Cable City
Dude,
over here.
it is Cable
It is
City.
really hard to do this
Yeah.
in person.
yeah.
in the
We
studio.
don't without a set.
Yeah, because you have to realize that
right,
I have an already small room, which is now being overrun by 2 people's stuff for an entire week, plus all of our recording stuff.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of a
better.
lot.
Yeah, plus like a bunch of other shit, all my film stuff. So it's just we're running out of space very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that was funny.
Yeah. All right. What the fuck was I talking about?
You were talking
Oh,
about
FL Studio.
Oh,
FL.
Studio.
Yeah. JPEG Mafia. He said something. He's like, a DAW is an instrument. So it's you're like instead of learning how to use the DAW, you learn how to use it as if it was an instrument. So it's you can make beats in FL Studio.
Once again,
very
JPEG
simply.
Mafia with an epic take that all 3 white guys on the podcast agree with.
You
We
can
love him.
use FL very simply, but with the tools at hand, you don't have to be a beat maker. You could do like lush sample work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that, and I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I feel like anyone can make good music using anything. I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like I made a pretty good EP, and I made it on my iPhone and
Yeah.
Audacity. That's all.
Crazy.
Those are the only 2 programs I use.
I mean, look at Steve Lacy if we're talking about like
Yeah,
Yeah.
GarageBand. I mean,
GarageBand City. dog.
But with that being said, I'm just FL is not really something I think about when I think of like very well done sample work, and I think you did a great job.
Hell yeah.
It sounds a much different soundscape from oh my
Super
god,
Jail.
yeah,
Super
from Super Jail. Super Jail was a lot more industrial. This is a lot more. What genre would you describe this as?
You know, that is a
Jackson?
fucking great question.
It's still kind of industrial, but I'd say it's more it's got a little more plunderphonic, I think, in it.
Yeah, I think it's more like Plunderphonics, but it's definitely like its own. Like also like lo, maybe not no not lo-fi hip hop.
I'm calling it rock and boom.
Wait,
calling
you
it
mean
rock
the
and
album?
boom,
You mean the
actually.
genre that Tizo Touchdown
On a
created?
rock and boom, as a matter of fact.
Dude, holy shit.
I want to rock right now. I want to rock right now.
But whatever the fuck you call it, I mean, instrumental hip hop, I would
Yeah.
consider
Yeah, I
it
mean,
that
that's
as well.
bass line, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I honestly really rocked with it,
Definitely
and I would not be
improvement.
surprised if a lot of other people rock with it too. That
I hope
aren't
so, man.
your best friends in
What
the
do you
whole
have
damn
any?
world.
Do you have any plans for physical releases that you want to talk
As a
about?
matter of fact, I do. I do have CDs on the way. CDs are
Huge.
being made.
Hell yeah.
I'm proud of the CDs. I love. If you can't tell, I'm a big fan of like design and like packaging
No.
shit.
Do you have the Super Jail CD over
It's-
there?
oh, yeah.
it's right over there.
Oh, no.
It's signed.
Oh, it's
no,
right
no,
there. It's
sorry,
right there.
I forgot.
You put it up.
My girlfriend got me like this massive like shelf thing for my birthday.
Pretty awesome with it.
But here's the OG.
Is the OG Super Gel?
The OG
baby.
Super Gel CD. We got the
Guys, the Super Jail
the
artwork goes so
exclusive
hard. I'm not
two,
gonna lie.
one of two signed copy. Did you sign all of them or just me and Luke's copy?
The ones I send out. So like they're
how many?
on
How many did you sign?
a couple. Like
I feel less special now.
no,
Well,
Like-
anyways,
like
Super Gel
11, bro.
designed pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, bro.
I love the back as
Pretty
well.
cool.
Yeah, back is cool.
Not fuck up the CD.
But yeah, Super Jail CD, and there's gonna be a CD for
Preparing myself to deal with a miracle.
Yeah, preparing myself to deal with a miracle.
Talk
bro.
about the title.
The title I thought was I was racking my brain on what the title would be because I didn't want it to be like kind of simple like Super Jail. There was a song called "Preparing Thyself to Deal with a Miracle," and I'm like, oh, that kind of goes hard as fuck. But
Yeah.
Thyself was a little goopy. Kind of like by the time I get to Phoenix, kind of like how Injured Reserve did that with the song title and made it their album thing, like switch up a few words. That was kind of my vibe. I was like, yeah, it could be.
Wait,
the
is
move.
By the Time I Get to Phoenix based off of a song?
It's a song, yeah.
Oh, no
It's
way.
like a blues song from like
Oh, I
the 70s.
did know that,
Yeah.
you're right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, fun fact.
A lot of things you don't know, man.
A lot of
Read a
things you
book
don't
once
know,
in a while,
man.
maybe you'll learn.
Yeah, man. I'm
Nerd.
I'm excited for it to come. I'm also very terrified for it to come out.
Geek. Nerd. Yes, I am a nerd. I'm studious. I don't know the rest, but yeah.
So big takeaways from preparing myself to deal with a miracle, guys. As Jackson cries into the microphone.
That was really good.
Okay.
Big takeaways from it. What's
yes, I am a nerd.
Have you ever seen that video?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking
okay.
about. It's like
Yes,
it's
I am
fucking,
a
it's
nerd.
Link, isn't
I'm
it?
yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
it's like
bro.
it's like nerd versus dork rap battle.
Nerd versus
Oh,
geek.
Nerd versus geek. That's
rap
what it was.
battle.
I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about
we
for a
should
second,
watch
bro.
that later. That
Nerd
shit is
versus
Dude, it's
fucking
awesome.
It
It's
goes
actually
so hard,
awesome.
bro.
Yeah, I
no,
love
it's
that
actually
shit.
insane, dude. You know what I actually love, and we're getting a little bit.
Yeah, I was
off-
gonna say, we're
actually,
totally
before we
just-
switch off topic, we could keep talking about your album first, and then we can switch topics.
You asking for highlights?
Yeah. What are some takeaways that you think the people should get excited for?
I think people should get excited for. If you thought Armor was the best song on Super Jail,
It
like
is.
me and Jackson agree with, you will love this album. I feel like this feels like a. I'm not gonna say this feels like a lot of Armors because each song is like its own
Yeah.
thing, but it's lush like Armor, and I'm really happy about
Yeah,
that.
I think that was the big thing that I said immediately. Was it felt way more lush, way more like the space felt way more filled. Not that, like minimal isn't good, but it didn't feel like.
MIDI. It wasn't very MIDI-fied.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
MIDI-esque.
Yeah.
Beat making.
It didn't feel like that. It felt way
Super
more
Jail
like
was
its own
beat
thing.
making. This is more production.
And it also felt more like you can still there's still hints of Super Jail in there where it's like I can see where this came from. You know, it's not like it was made in a vacuum, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's more unique.
like
to
the
you.
like the second the second song, for example,
wish.
has a really nice like dreamy like synth pad that
Yeah.
sounds straight out of Super Jail, but the way you worked around it made it like it was very unique compared to that previous album.
Yeah.
Like it fit very well here.
I think my takeaway is that you should sing more
I agree.
because the best song on the album has you singing on it, and I like it a lot.
Mhm.
It's good shit.
Was that the only song with you?
Yeah, it
with
definitely
vocals?
was, yeah.
I 100% agree. I think it's probably my favorite song on the album.
Wow.
But also, I just think I think it's my favorite not only because it's such a great song, but it's just such a great closer, and I feel like that makes it fit
Yeah.
better too. Like I don't know, like it's like an album intro is good because it's a great song, but it's also good because it kicks things off really well, and the same thing applies to an outro, and I feel like
Yeah.
it made it stick out for me a
Facts.
bit more.
Damn, you have no idea how validating you can make me right now. I was literally so scared. There were days where I was like, I'm just cutting this one. Fuck
No, it's the
I'm
best
cutting
song.
it.
It's the
Yeah,
best
literally,
song.
I was
I
like,
still
I'm
can't
gonna
believe
cut
that,
it.
dude. It's actually the best song
I was
on the
like,
whole
I'm
thing.
cutting that, and then no, I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear it, and I'm very excited for everyone else to hear it. I'm also very terrified. I'm scared of putting art out there now. Thanks, internet.
I think Jake, you should I mean, I don't know what your plan was with it, but I think you should put it on your main channel. Really get some eyes on
I
it.
might do like the
Yeah,
kind of
low-key.
gimmick.
Yeah, I think you should. And I think you should really, because if it's something you're super proud of, like fuck what people have to say about it.
Yeah,
man.
facts.
I think you just need to put yourself out there.
No, I am
Yeah,
very
I
proud of
agree.
it because
Yeah.
this was I was like really honing and like tweaking shit like to the point where like version 57 is like not even recognizable to version
Yeah.
1. Like
That's crazy.
the one with the one sample that you liked. It was the intro with like just like the regular
Oh,
rock
Dancers?
song. No, Gather No Mas.
Oh, right.
That was
yeah,
like
yeah.
that was like almost a totally different song when I first made that. Like it's not even
Yeah.
recognizable.
That's
And
crazy.
shout out to the band Number One Lovers because they were one of the people that said yes to letting me sample them.
Shout out.
Not saying anything else about the not saying others said no to being sampled, but they
That
shit
is
happens,
one
bro.
thing that is one thing that is so interesting about like music making, and that's where we can kind of have middle ground now since we both have projects
got
that
shit
have come
out,
out. Like the original version of like There's Always Another Year, like that whole EP.
Mm.
Every song sounded so much different before it came out.
Yeah.
Like 4 a.m. Guest Room, you know what the origin of that song is? Like 4 a.m. Guest Room demo. It was supposed to be my version of The Guest song.
it's
Oh,
from
really?
I was
fucking
trying to make
Isaac Wood.
I was trying to make a song like The Guest, and it was gonna have vocals on it.
Oh,
for
like
me.
some like theme from Failure Part 1
yeah,
type shit.
like it was supposed to be that, and then I think one night, I mean, the reason I named it the way I did, I'm not trying to steal your thunder.
No,
I'm
we're
just
talking
trying
about
to
music,
get-
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, like
No, you're good.
the reason I named it the way I did was because I was like, I'd been working on it for such a long time, and it had gotten to the point to where it was so much of a different track, and if you all remember, I released that 00 EP, kind of just like
yeah, we're talking about that today.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just
kind of
looking
just
over it.
tossed that out into the wild because I was like, these are a bunch of unfinished tracks that, you know, I just never did anything with. And that was kind of something that I realized while making 4 a.m. Guest Room demo was like, damn, like I've released so much music that I would consider unfinished. And like this song is pretty much technically like that as well, but I feel like it's of higher quality that I have to release this
Yeah.
and like put it out still.
Yeah.
So like the reason it's called a demo is because that song originally was supposed to have lyrics on it, and it doesn't. And
That's
so
really funny, actually.
Is there a
I never,
plan?
there's no plan to add
plan.
lyrics to it.
Okay.
I think the story
Dude,
of
the
it,
way it is good, right?
I think
you
the
should leave it.
story of it, just leaving it the way it is fine. But that was like the inspiration was like, damn, if this is of high quality, like I want to have 3 other songs at least for an EP that are actually finished.
Yeah.
That way I can release it. But anyway, that gets out of the way. But like that song was completely different. It sounded like the Guest song.
Yeah.
And then October 13th, not gonna say everyone, but like the majority of my fans really like that song, and it has that, you know, synth drop or whatever. That was never in the song.
I like that.
Oh,
song
yeah.
quite a bit.
Originally.
Yeah, I do too.
The synth drop in that song was I was trying to finish that song for the longest time. It was only the intro bit, like the first half of the song, and that was it. And I remember I had been sitting on it for like maybe like 4 months, and then my friend Spencer was like, "You need to have like a drop or something, man." And then I made
Spencer
and
with
then
the
I
Spencer,
made
bro.
the second
point.
half of the song with the drop. I made it in an hour and a half.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it completely
Yeah, it
made
changed
the
the whole
song.
thing, yeah.
It just changed everything.
It's always
I
funny.
love stories like that.
It's funny when like songs are some are like, man, I've been working on this one for 4 years. Like
Yeah.
Metalhead was made in a day, and
Yeah,
I was
it's-
just like,
exactly.
I
There's
was
some
like, oh,
shit-
this song just like this is it, bro.
sometimes
This is
that's
literally
it.
it. I don't need to touch it
and
again.
that's so funny you say that because every single song on my EP like had multiple different versions of it, except for Triple Reprise.
Yeah.
I made Triple Reprise in 2 sittings.
Yeah.
I think it took me maybe like overall time like sitting with it maybe like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Like working on
Yeah.
that song.
I mean, just to relate this in some way to like things that I do. Like
you gotta make music,
I
man.
mean, no, I mean, I like I hear the same thing all the time with screenwriters, where it's like there are some people where I think it was M. Night Shyamalan for Trap was like, this was the shortest amount of time it took me to write a screenplay. It took me 6 months.
Damn.
And then some people are like, yeah, I had the idea, and like a week later, I had a draft done, and I sent it to Universal, and they really liked it. So we
Yeah,
just
movie
made the
being made, bro.
project, and it's
Movie
like,
made
what
now.
the fuck are you talking about?
I think things just, I mean, it just kind of depends. I mean, even when it comes to like making videos or whatever, I remember when I did my latest video, even though it's been so long, but the vinyl record video that I did, like the vinyl collecting video, that was probably one of the fastest scripts I ever wrote, just because
Yeah.
I gave myself a deadline which I try not to do because I feel like it makes like bad. I don't know. I'm definitely someone who I'd rather like sit with something for a little bit than make sure I like it. But with that, I set a deadline. I was like, fuck it. I'm just making a script. And I think I wrote it in maybe like 3 days.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I'm really happy with how that video turned out.
No, it's a banger.
I mean, there was times where it's like in my quote unquote prime of posting, I guess. Like it was
Quote,
like
unquote.
it was like, okay, like artists that I like, go. And then like in a day I'd be like, all right, that's the video.
Yeah.
Like I have a script ready to go, and they were horrible. Like they were not good videos in my opinion. But I mean, like I feel like it used to be like that, where it was like think of an artist, talk about him for 15 minutes, and then you're good to that's postable.
Well, I also think like as the three of us have progressed and like just not even like with videos, but also like creatively.
Sure.
I feel like our standards have gone a little bit higher.
definitely.
So the three of us try to take more time working
Yeah.
on stuff. And sometimes that causes issues like me where you haven't dropped a video and I mean also I had a bunch of other shit going on. I mean for
Yeah.
Christ's sake, that's what my whole fucking EP's about.
I mean,
was
it
my
occurred to
terrible
me-
year that stopped me from doing anything.
I mean, it occurred to me too that like just from us recording in here, I was like, damn, I've been living in this house for over a year now. Like we hit the year mark 2 weeks ago.
Ah.
I've been living in this house, never recorded a video here.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then I'm like, damn, that's
Damn.
really crazy.
That
is actually
that's
crazy.
that's funny you say that because I moved out of my apartment
Yeah.
that I filmed like 2 years of Good Enough podcast in, and I only filmed one YouTube video in there.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
crazy.
mean a few cameos, but like
Yeah.
I've never filmed
Right,
one.
yeah, yeah.
I've
Video.
never filmed a second one, which is insane because I had so many plans. I was like, "Yo, my roommates, I'm gonna have you guys like act in it and like whatever."
Right.
Just never,
Yeah.
just never happened.
Didn't work out,
Never
man.
came
No.
to fruition.
No.
I mean, that should happen sometimes, man. Shit. I mean, it's the kind of thing where it's like, dude, we're adults. like we have to make money, and me and Luke are still going to school and stuff. So
Yeah.
full time.
One more year.
One more year, baby.
One more year, and honestly, I really do think that this is gonna be more. I was telling you guys about this, but my second semester, I'm only taking one class.
It's crazy. By the way.
And
Lucky you,
I have
bro.
a video that should be out by the time you're watching this.
Should be. We'll see.
That I'm very excited for, and so I think once that comes out, I have another one lined up immediately that I can just go into because a lot of the break has just been me trying to figure out what I want to do in the first place. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I just gotta figure out how to end it.
You just gotta
Yeah.
end that shit, bro.
That's something
Yeah.
I've like very much considered with like my channel is like I've always done like I mean the whole thing is like the storyline of like Luke on Demand like
Sure.
like at least for me whenever I make a video like I can make a video about fucking anything
Sure.
I want, but at the end of the day my whole thing is like I want to still be able to do skits and tell a story from video to video. And I don't know, man, not that I don't want to do that anymore, but I feel like with having to have music as the backbone and have this like scripted like I'm playing a character format, it's kind of like hindering like to me. Like sometimes I just want to sit down and be like, yo, I'm fucking Luke and I'm gonna be talking about this shit like out of character, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's
could,
definitely
though.
something I've considered doing, but I'm like so particular about stuff. I'm like, oh well, I do it on my second channel or like you know, so
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
I say just do it on your main channel. Honestly, fuck it.
You think?
Agreed.
For sure.
Do you think it'd be fine if I just like put out a video and just not under the Luke on Demand series and it was just
No.
like, because maybe I could just start doing both.
Yeah, I think
Like
that's
I
totally
have
fine.
like
Totally
the Luke on
could.
Demand series where it's like that series of videos that have the storyline, and then there's the other ones where it's just like me
imagine like
chilling.
reverse Mr. Plankett in Red Letter Media, where it's
Yeah,
like,
like
the character
like-
one is the one
like
that's
Filthy Frank type
yeah,
shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you should honestly.
I
Fuck
mean,
it.
you'd always just label them too. I mean, there's nothing saying like, oh, like, I don't know. Like,
I mean,
just,
all the Luke on Demand videos have a particular thumbnail layout.
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
can
exactly.
even work with that.
Yeah, so like I can just do something else.
I think
Yeah.
people would just be happy to see like, oh sweet, Luke is
Agreed.
uploading more. I think
I
that's
would
what
be
they
at
would
least.
see. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I would love to start talking about movies, possibly.
I mean, here's something we should probably talk about because this is something I've been thinking about a lot, dude. We have no contemporaries anymore.
No,
we
this
have
is
literally
actually-
nobody to
this
talk
is- this
to
is
content-wise,
actually
and it's
so
really upsetting to
fucking
me.
funny. This is so fucking funny because we were like making jokes this whole trip, like, "Yo, who's gonna be the guest that we have on the LA trip podcast or whatever?"
Yeah.
And we were like, we kept making a joke. We were like, "Brad tastes some music," but
Yeah, friend of the show, Brad.
yeah, friend of the show, Brad tastes some music.
Brad tastes some music.
We love him.
We love him.
But it was the kind of thing where it's like, I mean, when we first started doing this, there's just a little bit of backstory stuff. Like, we were in group chats where it was like us and like
20 other
20
people.
other or 10
It's
or
like the
20
creator
other
chats
music
we were in,
creators
Yeah.
all talking, and pretty much all of them have quit.
Yeah.
Like
All of
I think
them?
almost all of them have quit with a reserved few.
Yeah, it's like either all of them have quit or they're in like a similar situation to me where they've been on an extended hiatus for God knows how long.
Yeah. And I feel like the ones that have stuck around, they are still great creators, by the way. Not
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
named them.
no hate
but,
to any
but,
of these people.
But they don't.
No hate.
They're not really making similar content to us, where it's like it's more just music reviews, just all out, straight up,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
okay again, but it's just not what we're doing, and it's kind of completely alienated us. Where I feel like the people that I like fuck with content wise, there's such a gap in
There's a huge gap.
in following, where it's like, well, I could never do a collab with you, like I
Yeah.
could.
Well,
like,
well,
you
it's
know,
like I
Or
feel
at
like
least not
this is
yet.
I feel like this is a super random like example for me, but like my only contemporary that like is actively making YouTube videos right now that isn't YouTube is fucking Quentin Reviews, and we make
Oh, yeah.
we make such different content that I've never once thought in my mind like how the
Yeah.
fuck do I even do a
I mean,
video?
yeah, that'd
like
be
how do
so
we even
strange.
swing that
Yeah.
though?
I mean, like, yeah. So it's just like really like I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know, man. It sucks a little bit though. I miss that. I mean, I miss not that like.
Hey, I know you're watching this. Jeremiah, that used to be from the Rap Cornballs. I think he's gonna be coming back soon.
Jeremiah.
great.
and
Well,
he makes
I-
he makes
Rap
great
Cornballs.
videos.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. It's been a while since I've talked to Jared, but he's a good friend of the show, and if you're watching this,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, and
we'd love to
if,
see
you,
you
and if
come
you
back.
are a friend of ours and you have not made content in a while, let this be the fucking thing that
This is
gets
the
you off
warning
the
call.
yeah. This
Mac,
is the call.
you've been sending
call
me
to action.
demos for fucking weeks. Put some shit out.
oh
dumbass.
man.
Damn, drop the name.
Yeah,
too.
Mac
name,
McCall,
call
bro.
out.
You've been sending me demos
You know
for
what?
weeks.
Hey,
Put that shit
Mickey
out.
T, you're definitely not watching this, but make a comeback. Why not?
Yeah, Mickey.
Yeah.
It's kind of in a weird way, almost like a little sad that we
Yeah,
don't
I
have
agree.
anyone to like talk to, just because when you're in a YouTube kind of gimmick or you're in any kind of creative space, you're like, man, I guess I'm just figuring this out solo right now.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, especially, I mean, obviously, this is not any of our jobs at the moment.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if that'll ever.
I actually have a
happen.
take about that if you want to get back to it. but
We'll
can-
get back
yeah.
to it, but it's one of those things where at any job, you're just gonna get lonely if you do it by yourself.
Yeah.
One of my jobs, I won't shit talk it because it's been a good job this summer. But one of my jobs is very lonely because I do it at home alone, pretty much.
Sure, yeah.
And the only people I talk to are camera operators that do not talk back at all. They just listen to what I tell them to do, and then that's it.
The one
There's
ultimate
no
one-sided
response, bro.
conversation.
yeah, it is one-sided for 3 hours
Brutal.
straight, and then I get off the call and clock out.
Yeah.
And it's very tiresome, and it's very I don't know, it's just lonely. And YouTube is the same way, where it can be as lonely as you want it to be, or it can be as like, you know, collaborative as you want it to be.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of those things where you definitely want to have at least a group of people, which is nice that we have the three of us all together.
Yeah, I mean, we
The
kind of lucked
amigos.
out. I mean, any one of us could have, if we had picked wrongly, this could have been a 2-man podcast or even a 1-man podcast at some point.
One man podcast.
One-man
oh,
pod.
brother.
Can you imagine?
Hey guys, welcome back to the
Noel
Jackson
Miller
Burns
is doing
podcast.
that. Did you know that? Noel Miller started a podcast
He has
called
guests though, right?
No, he's well.
Well, he had the
on-
company or something.
Yeah, he started a podcast called Company Lot, where
Just a
it's
solo
primarily
pod.
just him.
What do you think
talking
about
for
it?
an hour.
What do you think about our YouTube videos? Are kind of a highly edited and scripted solo podcast. When you really think about it, that's kind of what that is
Man,
in
that's
a, in
sad.
a
In a
weird way.
way.
But with lots of editing and fun little goofs and gaffs, and me spending a lot of money to going to places that I don't need to be. Long, yeah, shit is
What
crazy,
were
bro.
you gonna say anyway? Back to
Oh,
the
so
job
you
thing.
were talking about YouTube being a job, but I got like maybe a hot take about that I'm curious your guys'
Yeah, hit
thoughts
me.
are. I'm glad that YouTube is not my job. Pause. Let me explain. I'm glad because where I am right now, I get such like anxiety when I think about uploading a video and just like putting anything out ever. And now imagine if I had to do that as like, yo, if people don't like this, you're not eating today. Like you're not gonna eat. Like straight up, like your bills aren't gonna be paid. And that shit stresses me out so much. I'm glad that YouTube is where I am in my life right now, is at a point where I can just be like, you know what, I don't have a mortgage riding on if this video does well or not. I
Yeah.
could do whatever I want, and if people don't fuck with it, oh well.
I
can be
think-
truly creative and not worry about
Yeah.
like getting a paycheck from
I
it.
think I somewhat agree. I think for me personally, I would just, I mean, obviously me and Jackson believe this because this is what we're going to school for now. But like, I just want to be able to make a living off of doing something creative in general.
Yeah.
Something creative.
And
I agree.
Yeah,
with.
I think with the caveat of that being, I would like to be able to do something creative, and that something I know this is like the pipe dream, dude, but like something being whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Like I would
Yeah,
like
I
to be
mean,
able to.
yeah.
I would like to be able to drop a YouTube video and be like, "This is my YouTube video. Check it out." Enough people can see it, and I make good money off of that. I would also like to be able to drop music, and people are like, "Fuck yeah," and they support it financially. Like that'd be awesome. I'd like to be able to make short films, stuff like that. You know.
I think that for me, I mean, not that I disagree because it's just your opinion, but I think that my take is a little bit different. Where it's I really do wish I was making more money on YouTube because I think two things. I think that the first is that it's gotten to the point now where it's like there's so much happening in school where it's like at all times I'm working on at least 2 productions. And it's a lot of creative energy to be doing that, and I love to do it, and I'm not complaining at all. I'm very lucky to be in a place where I can, have the access to the equipment that I do and the people that I do and all that. But where YouTube used to be a creative crutch for me, where it's like I needed it to have a creative output, that hole is being filled now, and so there's been a semi lack of what's the word I'm thinking of, like motivation in a way,
Yeah.
to get content out. Which explains my break, and it explains why now that it's summer, I'm suddenly putting the pedal to the metal with the videos and things. And it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just that when you've been on set for 12 hours for 5 days straight, sitting in front of a camera and talking about whatever topic that you come up with, it's hard. It's difficult. So and that which brings me to my second point. If there was a little bit of money involved, then maybe I'd be a little more.
Yeah, I think
That's
I
more
think
involved.
that's a good point. I've never once, with the exception of a Patreon page that I recently paused
Yeah.
just because I haven't uploaded anything in so long. With the exception of Patreon and the Good Enough podcast, like I've not made a single dollar off of Luke on Demand anything. I did look today. I've made $10 off of DistroKid. Oh,
Oh, nice.
well, I mean, people have paid me on Bandcamp and
Yeah,
stuff.
sure,
But
yeah.
like
A handful of
it
channels.
is one of those things where it is kind of weird because it's like, yes, I would be doing anything creatively because I want to do something creatively, but also like just because of the world we live in, like if we're making money doing that said thing, like it makes me want to do it more because it's like
Yeah.
it's just a nice benefit.
I
I mean,
yeah.
if we can be real for a second, like we're gonna do the podcast because we enjoy doing it every week, but it's nice that people pay us on Patreon.
Yeah,
to do
sure.
it. Like it's
Pay for the
definitely
Patreon,
nice.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fact,
check it
bro.
out.
Bonus episodes
and don't
every
forget
week.
the hair tier.
Yeah,
the hair tier, the most
Don't
important
forget
tier.
the hair tier
I-
for $150 a month.
fucking dollars.
You will get
month.
a piece of each of our hair delivered to your doorstep once a month until you stop paying us.
Yes.
By the way,
That's real. That's real.
Back to the point. Don't get me wrong. Getting money from making stuff is excellent. I think my whole point was
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
glad it's not my sole form of income where it's like if like whatever happens, like God forbid I have some anxiety attack and I'm like, yeah, I could just never make things ever again. I just a permanent creative block
You,
that I'm
you
like
enjoy
no money.
I think what you're saying is you don't enjoy the unstable nature of it.
I enjoy that I can just make something without having to fear can I eat if I take a
yeah.
risk.
I think
like,
that's fair.
I
I
was
think that's
this is
fair.
gonna be real cringe. I'm real sorry I'm gonna say this. I've been listening to the audiobook of the Rick Rubin Creative Act book.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a lot of interesting points in that video and one in the audiobook, and one of them that I thought was really cool is like to make true art, the audience is the last person you think about. You need to think about yourself when you're making true art.
Yeah.
And when I found myself making YouTube videos like for a little bit like last year, I was only thinking about like, yo, what's the audience gonna think about this? What's the audience gonna think about
Yeah.
this? And to a lesser extent, I'm doing that now. I'd like to think I'm trying to just like make for myself. So I don't want to say I'm making real art on my YouTube videos or anything like that, but I'm definitely being more weird with it, and I'm enjoying it a lot more because I'm like, I
No,
don't
yeah.
have to worry about
Yeah.
optimizing as much as I really
That
need
is
to.
the one caveat of YouTube, unfortunately, is that just because of how YouTube is, like you kind of do have to play with the algorithm just a tiny bit. Even if you are making like a video that you truly like 100%, you're like, I want to make this like the way I want to make it. Like you're still like, oh, well, what's a good title for this
Yeah.
video?
It's
Or,
like-
you
Well, I
know.
mean,
It's
yeah,
like, oh,
and-
this thumbnail has to slap or no
Yeah.
one's gonna watch it.
and I think that's what's unfortunate too. Is just like, I mean, back when we were, at least for me, like back when I was first starting doing this, I mean, it was like, oh, I make a video about MF Doom, I call it the story of MF Doom, and I put it up and I send it to every MF Doom subreddit, and that's my
And there you
engagement.
go.
Yeah.
And
That's
1
it.
million views right into my hand. And then it's like, okay, well, my newest video is called Liking Things Sucks now, and it's going to be 40 minutes of me talking about liking things sucking now. where do you? It's a few things. It's where do I advertise that? Like where am I can't. There's not a subreddit for liking things sucking. And so it's a little bit of that, and then it's also just like it feels like the more effort I put into content, the less views I'm getting, which is fine because I mean views doesn't end all be all, but it is a little bit discouraging.
It demotivates you. For sure.
I mean, again, because it's like I'm the MF Doom guy, and that sucks, dude. That sucks. I'm sitting here with a beard. I wrote that video. I put that video out when I was like barely rocking pubes in freshman year of high school. Like what's going on, man? What is
that's a
like
bar.
what made
Barely
that
rocking
video
pubes, bro.
Yeah.
what made that video so great that captured so many people where it's like, damn, but like remember when like you spent 6 months post breakup working on a video with the microphones and it was like really heartfelt? Man, no one fucked with that.
It's literally like a code.
People did fuck with that.
People
though.
did fuck with
did,
that.
yeah.
People love the video, which is even more aggravating when it's like you have 50 comments being like, "This is one of the best YouTube videos I've ever seen,"
Yeah,
and
no,
then it's
YouTube
like
doesn't
three.
do
It's like
anything with
3K views, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
so well, I did everything right. And you indicted me.
It's
folks.
literally
everything
a
And
code.
they indicted me.
It's a code you're trying to crack, and you make fun. I think you specifically make fun of me because you saw I was on the Colin and Samir subreddit. I mean, no, the Colin and Samir Discord, but there were literally times like last year where I was like, "This is it. This is the video. I'm back in it. I'm
Which
gonna
video
get
was
it."
it?
Oh, I think it was the Jack White one actually.
Oh,
It was the
yeah.
Jack White one.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I love fucking. There's a 10 out of 10 album for me.
Sure.
I love this. This is gonna be it. And then I'm like, fuck. I literally remember
It's-
going to Colin Samir and I'm like, a video doesn't do well. Like how do you cope? Like I'm literally
That's so
looking this
funny.
up and I'm like, ah, geez, like that's
I
yeah.
think
Super
think-
intelligence. How do I cope with failure online?
I think it's one of those things where it's just like that is and this goes back to your point where you're happy YouTube's not your job, is that I feel like that's one thing that I'm trying to get back into is like obviously I still want to like really work hard on a video and I want it to do successful, but at the end of the day I feel like as long as I'm happy with what I've created and I put it out there in the world, as long as the majority of people also think it's a cool thing and it's a net positive, then I'm happy with that.
That's the point I wanted to also get at, where it was like I've discovered in myself that like me getting joy out of making something, I'm very happy it's like this. It's no longer like, oh, did this video do well? That's not what makes me happy. It's everything before I upload. That's why I get anxious before I upload it, because I'm like, oh, the best part is me making this. The fun part is me getting all these shots and doing all this bullshit. The least favorite part is having to fucking
Put it out.
YouTubeify it and be like, oh, how do I optimize this shit?
Yeah.
Like that's the part where it like stresses me out. Whereas making it, that's the shit that I enjoy doing. Like I make it to make it.
I will say I think it's I kind of have a unique take on this since my account isn't as big as your accounts, but I think it's, I don't know, at least for me, I've very much like gotten used to like understanding like, yeah, this video is probably only gonna get like 500 views like first day, but it's also one of those things where I feel like, and this goes for all three of us too, I feel like that we've gotten a sizable and good audience for each of us, that as long as that audience is like happy, like the small audience that I have right now is happy with what I've put out, then I feel like that's all I really need at this point. Like, not that I need the satisfaction, but it's just nice. It's
And
nice.
this is a small segue, but I mean, it made me. I didn't show it, but it made me immeasurably happy that you met a fan and they asked about me. They also asked about you, but I mean, the fact that they also asked about me was very that was a little bit of a boost. Because I mean, I don't know, man. Sometimes it really does feel like screaming into a void sometimes.
That was the first fan I've
Especially-
ever met in real life, Jeffrey. So if you're watching this, I don't think you actually watched the Good Enough podcast, but if you do, you were very, very chill. And
Shout out Jeff.
Jeffrey
Jeff.
showed me around
Yeah.
New York, and we got food at Chinatown together. It was
Yeah.
really funny. Had
But,
a
yeah,
good ramen actually.
That
Shit
rocks
was
actually.
good.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's the kind of thing where it's like, especially when you take a really long break, where it's like, damn, man, like, do people even remember me? Like, is that even like a thing? And so the fact that there's like I at least know there's one person out there who's like awaiting an upload from me, like that makes me.
You
feel
know,
good.
I will sometimes get a DM from someone who has not messaged me in like 10 months, and they'll be like, yo, man, you should make a video about this. And I'm like, damn, you're still thinking about
Yeah,
me. I
right.
mean, that's pretty cool.
Say, hell yeah.
That's always a good feeling. The one thing you got to tell yourself, even though it may be, you know, long ass time since you've uploaded something, there will always be people out there that are ready for you to upload.
Yeah,
because,
that's true.
Yeah, so
It's gonna be
Shout out to you guys for watching
Yeah,
the
shout out.
pod.
It's
Shout
real
out.
cringe, but you know that one thing where it's like yo, your YouTube video only got like 500 views, and it's like, here's a picture of a room full of 500
Oh yeah,
people.
yeah, that
And
shit. Where
it's
it's like, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty. That's
when
not
you put it in
bad.
perspective like that, you know, we're not fucking like, you know, T-Series or whatever, where it's like we got to be after the number of
Speak
the
for yourself,
views.
buddy.
Yeah, like
I am the T-Series of music YouTube.
I am the T-Series of music YouTube.
Oh man,
Yo, shout out to that one guy who's like, man, you guys should talk about the behind the scenes of your videos more. He's eating good today.
dude, he loves
Bro,
this.
he's eating good
I hope
today.
you're enjoying this.
We-
It's been a while since we have a content talk,
Yeah,
bro,
right.
so I'm glad we did this.
I think another cool thing, and just to talk about Good Enough Podcast, another cool thing, Jake, that you mentioned, like Jackson got the Ghost Pop tape on record.
Yeah, I was
at
gonna talk about that in a
Amoeba.
bit.
Oh, we should
yeah,
talk
we should
about
talk
our
about
pickups.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna end the episode off on that because it's a little bit. I feel like we've
Well,
been
we
on
can just
Downerville
go
a
ahead
little bit.
and go to that if you want.
Well,
Well, I
what
wanna
were you
make
gonna
a
say?
point.
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, it's pretty cool that on the sleeve he talks about how, or we were talking about,
yeah.
we were talking about the album and how he like really like said that if the album didn't do well, that he was going to
He's gonna kill
Yeah,
himself.
he was gonna
I mean,
kill
yeah.
himself.
That was
He
like
said
how
that,
he marketed
and then it didn't do well. And I'll show it off in a second. But the interior sleeve on the Ghost Pop tape vinyl is an email chain that he was sending to someone, basically just being like, dude, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I feel like, you know, everyone feels like I'm the weird kid who can barely make a good beat, and I don't know, man. I'm thinking of changing my name and all this shit. And I was talking about this earlier, but I was like, when you put that into perspective of his newest record, it's interesting because, you know, he's putting out, as Devon Hendricks, he put out all of this music that was, at least to me, felt incredibly personal and very, you know, introspective and very out there. And then when it wasn't successful, you know, he changes his name to a fake name, and then starts making, you know, industrial beats and rapping about, you know, still good raps, but nothing
it
nearly as
wasn't that
personal.
personal.
And he blows up, and I'm like, that must have been so
shitty.
weird, because it's like, okay, I'm successful now, this is great, but at the same time, like, no one fucked with me when I was being personal, and everyone only fucks with me when I'm doing this
Yeah.
shit. So it makes me very happy to hear him getting a little more personal and introspective on his newest record.
But that's the thing that I was going to lead to, is that, like, if he never did do that change,
Oh, yeah.
we would have never met.
we would have never met.
The three of
Yeah,
us
because
would
we
have
all
never
met. on the-
met.
We all met. Me
JPEG
and Jake
Mafia
DM'd
kept
Luke
his
individually on
promise
the
to
Good
kill
Enough Podcast.
himself if the Ghost Pop tape didn't succeed, we would not know each other right now.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that crazy?
fully crazy. I like to think we would have. I don't know. Maybe stumbled upon
In
each
another
other
life.
at some-
In
at
another
some
life,
point,
we
yeah.
would have
In
always
another
met.
life, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Man.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Want to show off the pickups?
Anyways,
Yeah.
Guys,
hard cut.
yeah, let's get back into the good vibes and the good
Yo,
feelings.
Jake, you're in the rolling chair. Why don't you just like scoot back and go grab all the stuff?
Yeah, my bag is right
I
there.
got you.
Copious amounts of drugs.
I actually don't know where you put.
that.
I think Jake, you put the go. Do you know where you put the Ghost Puck tape? Bet.
I did.
Yeah,
I did
you
already
did.
show that one off. Yeah, give me that amoeba bag. Thanks. So
Guys, we went to Amoeba Hollywood and it was awesome.
we did. Guys, wait for Jake's next video. I flew 3,000 miles to Amoeba Part 2. It's pretty much just the same thing. But
Maybe
the
we'll
second
get
time.
6 views instead of 5 next time. We're talking about videos not doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna grab that.
That was a fun video, though.
I liked it.
that video.
I liked it
that video
because it was like
I
a
in
little
it.
vlog.
Yeah, that's why. I'm also. I know we're off content, literally so off content right now. But for my next few videos after this, like it's already up by now. But like the crazy emotional one about fucking David Bowie and like uncomfortable music, I want to do more like some chill videos.
Yeah, bring it back.
We
to-
recorded
yeah.
one recently. I want to do a studio tour and upload it to the main channel.
nice. That'd be great.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be so
I
cool.
fucking love like behind the scenes.
Yeah, I do
videos.
too.
I get
think
that a
they're
lot.
So
yeah.
awesome.
I love.
I mean, according to
also
that one
love
guy,
them.
there's clearly a market for behind the scenes of the podcast. So.
Yeah.
And I gotta like claim fame.
I'm sorry, that just clicked on me. That was very funny.
I gotta claim fame to the thingamajig haver.
Oh, yeah.
name,
Thingamajig
so I have
haver,
to-
bro.
I have to
In
show
the
off all my
house.
thing, and I bought so many more thingamajigs. I'm actually really excited.
did.
But yeah, and yeah, I got other content stuff. But yeah, that's my point.
Well, Jackson, you can start off if you want.
Yeah, I'll start off. First off, I want to just say a very special thank you to my girlfriend, because I won't show all the stuff that I got, but for oh shit. For my birthday, she got me a bunch of physical media.
That was unbalanced.
That was crazy.
DVDs, a bunch of Criterion stuff. Just to read, they're right next to me on this beautiful shelf that she built me.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I got Royal Tannenbaums, Taste of Cherry, Ikiru,
he's naked. He's a naked
the
guy.
400 Blows, Being John
Jerking them
Malkovich,
all.
Tree of Life, Sound of Metal, and Triangle of Sadness. Sorry.
Sorry. No,
And then at Amoeba, I picked up. This is one of my favorite films ever, probably directed by the always wonderful Ken Loach, British filmmaker. It's I, Daniel Blake. Check it out, folks. I, Daniel Blake. Incredibly emotional film. If you would all like working class cinema, I highly recommend it.
You were giving me the elevator pitch to it, and I was actually very interested in it.
It's
It
pretty,
sounds
it's
like
pretty heartbreaking.
horrifically
It's pretty
depressing,
heartbreaking, but the
very interesting.
all the extras look really great, and I'm excited to read the essay that it comes with. So I have that, and then of course this is actually a birthday gift for me
From
me
us.
from
you, from the
Get the
gang.
Podcast guys.
This the
And
same
it's the
$25
Ghost
that we
Pop
bounced around probably
Yeah,
5
that
times.
was
Yeah.
insane. That was insane.
It's the Ghost Pop tape. This is the front, and then here you have the back. There you go.
What is the Is it like a? Is it just like
It's
a?
like it's like an iTunes library
I see,
folder
I see,
that has
I
all
see.
of the songs on it. And then the
JPEG Mafia Boy, he loved that
Here,
internet
why don't-
culture,
why
bro.
don't you put up the sleeve so that someone can pause it and read it if they'd like? But this is what the it's not going to focus, is it? Cover your face, Luke.
No, there it goes.
There's the insert of the email that I was talking about. And the disc itself is white. I'm not going to take it out because the static makes it really difficult to take it out of the sleeve. But shout out to JPEG Mafia. Shout out to Devon Hendricks.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
Yes, Kermit.
Do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, how about since I got the most, you go next.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Do you want
go.
me to
So
hold it?
I only got one record. I ended up getting this. It is Compro by Ski Mask. It is a very cool cover, by the way. I think it's fucking awesome. But
Hey, and
It rocks.
recommended by a Patreon.
yeah,
Yeah, literally.
we found it via a book club recommendation, and I loved the song Session Ad, and I was so disappointed that it wasn't on streaming, which, I mean, I get nowadays.
Sure,
it's like
yeah.
fucking awful.
It is on streaming, I'm pretty sure, actually.
Not on Spotify.
Not on Spotify. So
Apple Music supremacy.
Yeah,
Ha.
for real. But I thought about buying it on Bandcamp, and then I found it here, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just buy it on record. It'll
Yeah.
be my first listen. Will be on record." But pretty awesome IDM slash.
I hope it
like,
lives up
ambient,
to the
like, techno.
to the track.
I really hope so too, because I thought Session Ad was fucking awesome, and I think I'm gonna really enjoy the rest of the record. But yeah, super cool. And then I mean, Jackson. I have this really bad habit where my friends will get really cool gifts for their birthday, and then I'm like, damn, I want that shit.
I need
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
bro.
And Jackson got a shit ton of Criterion stuff, and this isn't just because he got it, but for a while I've been thinking like I want to start collecting like DVDs and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Blu-ray and stuff. So I figured, why not start my Criterion collection with a goodie, and I got the Lahane
baby.
Blu-ray.
Famous Lahane.
Famous Lahan. I'm so happy I put you onto that movie. It is
This
so
movie,
awesome.
this movie is fucking
Yeah.
amazing. The first time I saw it, I thought it was awesome. The second time I saw it, I thought it was even more awesome. And I'm definitely going to be rewatching it, and I will be looking through all
should-
of the special
yeah.
edition features.
It's
If
literally a
you're-
suspenseful version of
awesome.
Sandlot.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome
Literally.
packaging, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
actually
the cover
rocks.
goes crazy.
Yeah.
It's if you want to learn more about like movies and just start building like a watch list up, I highly recommend watching the Criterion Closet videos. Have you ever seen those?
I love them.
Is that where like Ethan Hawke will walk and be like,
Yeah.
"This is movies."
Yeah,
I
so-
like."
I saw Ethan
the-
Hawke talk recently.
Oh,
at
really?
a for his film. Wasn't very good, but saw him.
the Criterion Company invites celebrities to come in and basically just pick whatever movie they want off the shelf and talk about it, and they get to take them home. But Barry Jenkins did one, the director of Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk, and now Mufasa. But he in his closet he took out Lahane and he went, "This is the film school movie." He was like, I remember we used to like 2 a.m. put this on, and it's like 10 people around a TV and just like boggle at it. Like
It's fucking awesome,
completely
bro.
boggle
Yeah,
at
it
it.
is.
It's
It's
just-
incredible.
It really is like. I mean, it really is just the film school movie. Now,
Yeah,
that
it
I'm-
really
I
is,
mean,
though.
I'm not even like in a film school. Like I'm in a program in which I wouldn't even consider the program at my university the film program. I mean, it's media arts and studies.
Yeah.
But it just so happens to I can apply it to film if
Sure,
I
sure.
want
Film,
to.
yeah.
But
It's a piece of media.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like when I watched this, I think that was what kickstarted me being like, I need to fucking switch.
And
my
take it
majors,
from me,
bro.
the Goo Goo Gaga Marvel Ghostbusters and Sandlot fan. I think the movie's fucking awesome.
Well,
dude.
it's interesting. Actually, this is funny that you're downloading Do the Right Thing right now because Spike Lee, director of Do the Right Thing, famously thinks that Lahane is a ripoff of Do the Right Thing. So I'm curious to hear what you think about that because they are somewhat similar.
Yo, I'm watching that
definitely.
shit from Detroit to New Jersey. That is
Yeah,
gonna
so-
be with that.
Yeah, so I'll be
itinerary
curious
is.
to hear what you think. I completely disagree. I think that they're very different, but I'll be.
Yeah, I'm
interested to hear
excited
what
to
you
watch
have
it, yeah.
say about
Lahane is awesome, and you
it out,
should
guys.
definitely
Should
check
watch
it
that
out.
shit.
Jake, you're up.
My turn. Who wants to hold my mic?
I'll hold it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I already showed off my Virtue thing, and I literally had to get talked down from the ledge because I was gonna buy another record. I wanted to go ball out. Man,
I was
don't give
trying
a
to get
shit.
Jake to buy as many records as he wanted, and he was like, "No, I'm not
Ball
going
out
to."
fuck
I was
out.
like, "You
First-
want to?
Well, yeah, here you actually stole this. First of all, I got a shirt.
Oh right, yeah.
Talking Heads
Talking
t-shirt.
Heads merch,
Yeah,
baby.
fucking Remain in Light, baby. Yeehaw.
Check it out.
Hate the material, so it's probably gonna be a gym shirt, but it's a cool design. I fuck
Yeah,
with it, like,
it
quite a
is
lot.
nice.
Yeah, 2 mics. I got 2 mics now.
I got
two mics.
All right.
There used to be 2 Corys. Now there's just one
Now there's just
Corey.
one Corey.
There's just
Ultimate
one
Corey.
Corey.
Yo, man, is your name Corey? You're gonna be assassinated in 3 months.
Speaking of assassinated in 3 months, we got courting.
Check it.
New last name.
Yeah, there used to be 2 courtings. Now there's just one.
Now it's just
Corey.
There's
one courting.
courting, bro. Yeah, new last name.
Really disappointing backside. I hadn't seen it
Yeah,
yet.
no,
that's
backside
really
is
upsetting.
actually kind of sick, kind of shitty. Throw We Look Good Together and fucking Emily G are maybe some of the hardest hitting songs of all time. As he yawns as I'm explaining the songs I enjoy. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, dude.
I've never
am
actually heard that
tired.
record. I don't think.
Emily G is such a fucking incredible.
You should
song.
play it tomorrow. I want to hear it.
I might, yeah. You might not.
Maybe
like
after
it,
this.
actually.
Oh, for real?
But yeah, I fuck with that. It's an emotional banger. Let's just put it like that.
It's an emotional banger.
Here's one for the cool online.
Hold on, I'm gonna switch the mics really quick. Sorry, this is just so much easier
Very
for me.
fast. Here's one for the cool online Twitter people. Geese, 3D
Some
Country.
geese action.
Yes. Put on to me by a patron. Speaking of which, talking about
Yes.
patrons making us pick up records. I forget who it was, unfortunately.
That back cover is
also
fucking
do.
awesome.
Yeah,
The back cover
almost
is
like the back
nice.
cover more than the front, low key.
I don't think I do. This is really just screams iconic, and it,
is
makes me
pretty
want to pick it
iconic,
up
yeah.
more.
And a little Ubi strip right here. Oh, and the pressing of Courting was on white, and this is crystal clear. As a matter of fact, my least
wow.
favorite colored vinyl, but gets the job
The,
done.
the only record that has ever worked for Clear is Porter Robinson's Nurture. Funny enough,
I don't like any.
I think it works
Clear.
well for Nurture. I think it fits the vibe.
I just don't like clear. And then we got one more. Here's the fun fact, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the fun one, right? This was, if you remember,
This is a. Go ahead.
if you remember last
got it, man.
last time we did this, I was like, man, my biggest regret is I didn't let one of these two goons run around like a kid in a candy store and pick out a record for me. But I did this time.
Well, this is interesting because we walk into the store and I immediately, you guys were in a different section and I immediately just went straight for like the A section and the rock and roll, and I was just going through the A miscellaneous, or maybe it was B. It was B, and I found this album cover and I was like, damn, Jake would really fuck with this album cover. And I went, Jake, and you didn't hear me, and I probably screamed your name 10 times before you heard me. I was like, Jake, Luke. Jake, right here. And then I felt your attention. I was like, and I just held it up, and you went, ooh, and you walked over.
I fucking ate that shit up. I
Yeah,
took
you
a picture of the
immediately
album
loved
cover,
it, and you
too.
took a picture of it.
I was
and
like,
went,
yo,
I'm
we should
coming
listen
back
to
to
this shit
this
later. And then as you were in the experimental section, I was like, yo, pick a record for me in the 15. I'm like, yo, what was that one called? You're like, that actually might be my pick.
Yeah.
So I was
Show
like,
it up. Throw it
fair
up.
enough.
The album cover in question.
Big Walnuts Yonder.
Big Walnuts.
Big
Yonder.
Walnuts Yonder.
Did you say one of the guys in this band is
Wilco?
Yeah, he's
The
from
Yeah,
Wilco.
guitarist
Wilco.
from Wilco, and there was the drummer from something. I forget what it is.
Show the band's on. I mean, they're on.
Oh,
on
yeah,
the back
facts.
cover. Yeah, they're right
There
there.
they are, folks.
That's the crew.
Yeah, a bunch of old white guys.
Yep.
Awesome cover art, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cover
pretty
goes
much
crazy.
rocks.
I know this is New York. I just know it as he's blindfolded and shot in the face. That's actually goes hard as fuck. Big Wonder, and it's on fucking Sargent House Records, famously of
Yeah.
The Armed.
Yeah.
Ultra Pop, baby.
And we
Come
listened to it. Well, I didn't hear the whole thing because I went to shower, but you listened to the whole thing this
most
morning.
of it.
I heard
it's
all
pretty
of it,
interesting.
yeah.
Pretty
It's
interesting.
kind of all over the place.
The first half is way better than the second. 'Cause,
really.
like, the
So
second
I
half is
kind of
just-
got the best.
The second half is just kind of straight up like math rock a little
Really?
bit. A little bit.
Wow.
There was a lot of math rocky elements
You were
in the
there for a
first
second.
I was kind of tuned out. I'm gonna be honest.
okay,
I was
fair.
watching cooking videos
Oh,
on
give
my
me a
iPhone.
break. Yeah, I think the second half was just kind of more art rock, not
Yeah.
math rock. Whereas the first half, there was like straight up like a Dove's experimental track in there.
Yeah, there
like
was
a
some
noise
weird
song.
shit where I was
It's
like, what the
what
fuck?
the hell?
Yeah, it was actually some straight up like gag file
Yo,
type
Sergeant.
shit.
Yo,
Yeah,
yes.
it was.
Yo, Sargent House. What the fuck y'all putting out, bro? But yeah, those are the pickups from Amoeba.
There you
gang.
have it, man.
Pretty neat stuff.
Yeah.
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 Shit,
Yeah,
I
Well,
mean-
this is the last one, guys.
Oh,
this is
yeah,
the last
facts.
one until you guys head home. We have one more day tomorrow, and then I'm dropping them off the morning after.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna be heavy.
Yeah,
heavy
we
day.
have to wake up at like 6 a.m. to fucking get to the airport or whatever.
Yeah, don't even fucking remind
Yeah,
me,
Jesus
bro.
Christ.
Dude, I have to fucking chill out at the airport for
I know.
2
I feel
hours.
bad.
in the
I feel
meantime.
bad.
Well,
'Cause
I
my
got
flight's at 7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Jake's
it's
is
9:30 a.m.
Yeah. So
Well, you can watch Do the Right Thing.
well, I was gonna watch it on the plane.
I know, I'm kidding.
I got editing to do, so
Oh, there you
I'll
go.
probably edit.
Yeah.
It's time
I
to
will
fly.
edit the fucking Metalhead music video. Honestly,
nice,
in that
that's
time.
nice.
Yeah,
So
but
if
yeah,
you
this
saw
is-
that video, I edited that in the fucking
In
LAX.
LAX.
But this is the last time we're doing a podcast here
For
together
another
on this
3
trip.
years.
Yeah, we're gonna actually make the extend. Like we're gonna wait longer to see each other.
Yeah.
I mean, next time we do this, we don't have to wait until summer because we're not going to be in school anymore.
Yeah,
probably.
no,
ever
seriously.
again.
I've been out of school for a while.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm game
I
for
think
anything.
that has been my biggest takeaway on this trip is that we cannot wait 2 years to do this again.
Nah.
Yeah, I know.
We-
I had a ton of fun, man. It was
yeah,
a
a
good
lot of
time.
fun.
It's been
too.
fun, and I've honestly had more fun that it's just been just
Chill.
us
way
chilling.
more chill.
Yeah,
Way more chill. I mean, I think that I have been so stressed before you guys even got here. Was so stressed and uptight. Just I had a shoot going on, and then like all this shit with my video, and I have been like dealing with a bunch of other just exterior bullshit.
yeah.
And I had this to look forward to, and it definitely delivered. It was good having you boys back
Yeah,
in town.
absolutely. I mean,
Awesome.
y'all know what's up with me. I literally had like a stress-induced injury go away
Yeah.
during this trip,
Which is
like,
great. Yeah, it was just so
literally,
wild.
Like, it's
Yeah.
fun like that,
No,
you know.
yeah. It's been a good time, and definitely something that's got me thinking about
Yeah, bro.
life and just us hanging
Hell
out
yeah,
and
man.
yeah.
Friendship.
I think
Things like that.
I think it's been my biggest takeaway from this too is that like is two things. A, I just even with this conversation today, I just really want to make more videos.
Yeah.
Like, that was the big thing, and then B, actually three things. So two is that I need to listen to more music. Like I just
Yeah.
like got to get back in the music game. And three, and this is something that I was telling my directing partner that you guys now know, Mr. Jackson, other Jackson, is that
The new Better Jackson.
the new better Jackson.
The new Better Jackson.
Is that I mentioned this to him, and I mean this is hard to explain to you guys, but like when you are at least in the film school that I'm on, everything is so pre-planned because it kind of has to be when you're working with like bigger budgets and deadlines and things like that. Like there has to be so much planning that goes into things
Mm-hmm.
that when things inevitably go wrong, because they always do, it's like Panicville. It's like it's Tweakville, and it's fucked up. And something that me and Jackson like a lot is we call it play. Like we love to play, and it's when it's when you're on set and you've like pre-planned time to like, we don't know what we're gonna do for this scene. Let's just get on set and we'll figure it out on the spot. Or
Yeah.
like we'll improvise some shit.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys are hitting levels of play that is unheard of. Like, you
Really?
know what I mean? Where it's like, I remember like when we were shooting Metalhead, like the original idea didn't work out. Where it was like we wanted to just do slow mo.
Kind gesture.
Or kind gesture,
Yeah,
sorry.
kind
We
gesture.
wanted to do slow mo over like a projector, and it was like the projector was not nearly bright enough to get proper exposure, so it looked noisy. It looked like we shot it on a potato, like it was horrible.
Nintendo
And
3DS.
and I immediately am like, I went into I don't know if you could tell, but I was a little bit,
little bit,
I was
yeah.
a little bit like I was down on myself. I was like, fuck, I can't fix this. Like I don't know what to do, and I was like trying so hard to make the original plan work. And you just like played with the camera for 5 minutes. Went, all right, we'll just do it low shutter, and it'll look
yeah.
really cool. And I was like, oh.
I think that was
Like,
was
okay.
whenever we were like filming something, like you just had the camera and I was like, well, if we can't do slow-mo, why don't we do like a shutter speed?
I was
like,
scrolling
gimmick?
through Pinterest. Like I was just literally like right when you're like, oh, it's probably not working. I was like, all right, let's see what we can find on Pinterest. And I was just scrolling. I saw like a long exposure kind of photo, and then I'm like, let's do that for the video. Set it up,
Yeah.
guys. Let's go. Set them up. Let's play.
Which is crazy, and it's a really good trait to have. And then even with Luke, with your video, where it was just like on the beach, and it was like, all right, now great, I'll do this. Like, no, okay, like wait, this could be cool.
We found
do
that shit out
I-
on the day, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, yeah, let's go to the beach. Fuck it.
I absolutely love. I mean, and I also think it's another thing too that like, I mean, I can't say too much, but I'm working on projects right now where that is
Sure.
the entire philosophy.
Which
of-
is good.
of
Which
the
is good.
project.
Which is good.
It's just you gotta do shit on the fly. I feel like it's. I don't know. It's very creatively fulfilling and it's very fun.
Yeah,
very fun.
it's me and Jackson's probably favorite part of shooting is when we get to play and we have time to play. And so I think my biggest thing to say to you guys is like, if you ever move out to LA or like end up in the industry, like think like it's gonna be a little bit different where it's like it's not gonna be as much time. Don't lose that, bro. Like don't lose that aspect of it because
Yeah.
it's like this. It's so much better when you just it's low stress and you just go, all right, man, play it didn't work out. Like we wanted the next thing. Like
Let's figure something out, man.
that's gotta be the
We'll make it
mindset,
work,
so.
bro. I've been
yeah.
joking for years. I'm gonna write an autobiography. It's gonna be called "Make It Work." I'm just gonna make that shit work. Honestly.
That's a great title for an autobiography.
No, yeah, that is really
It's like,
good.
Make it
Make it
work.
work.
Honestly.
Well, I mean,
If I write a book about my life, it'd be like, I don't know, fucking naked guys everywhere.
In my head, I was literally gonna whisper just like gay joke incoming, and I
Yeah.
had called that.
No!
I'm too predictable.
Sorry.
Fuck!
Fuck! What were you saying, Luke? I cut you off.
I forgot. I honestly.
Cut you off with a great
what was I
game.
gonna say? What was I gonna say?
We were talking about.
I mean,
planning.
if we don't want to leave this in the podcast, like we don't have to, but like I literally brought up, you went to bed and you were so tired that I could tell that you weren't like ready for the conversation. But I brought up the Jackson. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, dude, like I'm gonna be so for real. Like the past year and a half has made me realize that my like career trajectory is gonna like require me to move out here. Like we have to make something work at some point
Yeah.
where we're like all like
Affordable living situation.
yeah,
in
like
the
just
worst part of
like
town.
yeah, like literally,
Yeah.
like I gotta make it work. If it only works out for like a year of my life, then
Yeah, so be
fuck
it.
it. So be it.
I'm gonna reference my favorite YouTuber Van Neistat. I'm gonna kind of adapt it for this, but he was like, every person should live in a very populated city like the Draft. Like they need to for one
That's
year.
really funny,
for
actually.
1 year, like the Draft, you need to live in a crazy populated like
Yeah.
big city.
This is not Van Neistat,
No
but
Van
this is
Neistat.
a maybe even funnier reference. Jim from The Office, John Krasinski. Even though I feel like his recent creative tasks aren't the coolest.
What?
Shout out to If.
This is our second time talking about John Krasinski.
but,
oh yeah, today, bro.
Yeah, I mean, famous fucking story. Moved to LA.
Yeah.
Did not have shit working for him, but he just stuck with it, man, for
Yeah.
3 years, and then he got the office job.
Jim.
I don't know if he moved here or New York. It was one of those.
Jim. From
Jim.
The Office.
Must we close this out with a JPEG Mafia quote? Bro had 15 views for 15 years.
15 views for 15
And then he was
years.
just like, yeah, I'm rapping over ODB. And then he was just like, yeah, famous. Boop. Literally.
There you go.
immediate fame.
Yeah, immediate fame
And yeah.
metal
Yeah.
album.
And on that,
Booyah.
I think that's the episode, guys.
I think we just need
episode.
to let's not end it with like a funny. We should end it with a.
Let's end it with I think what we did last time. We ended it with a thank you to the viewers,
have a nice
the
Saturday
kind
night,
viewers
guys.
for making this happen.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
By proxy.
I don't want to ruin this popular moment, this fun, nice moment, but I mean, if you want to see a little bit more, you could scroll over to the Patreon. Because we are going to talk a
support us
little longer on the
financially.
Patreon.
Yep.
But for the main people who don't want to support us, then this is the last you'll see until next Mountain Dew flavored event.
Yeah, so
which
stay tuned.
I Mandela affected myself into thinking it was called High Voltage. It is just
it's
called
just called Voltage.
Voltage.
And which you have tried. Both of you have tried.
Yeah,
now.
We actually and
we did.
I guess we could end off on. Well, first let's do a thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you guys for
Yeah,
watching.
thanks so
and
much.
supporting.
This
been
it's
crazy.
very
Absolutely.
it's very awesome that people are excited for just this whole thing, and it's very
The
cool
fact
that
friends can come together. A
Yeah.
small portion of the internet can be like,
if you all were
Friends come
expecting
together.
like some extended bit like Code Red, sorry, but I don't know. We just wanted to chill out. I hope you can respect that. But yeah, it's been very fun. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
And to end it off, I guess we can review Mountain Dew flavors. Code Red, honestly, just as good as Voltage.
Code Red, better than Voltage.
Voltage peak, Code Red not as peak. Damn, it's good. It's sugary garbage. It's all supposed to taste good, but I like the sugary garbage of Voltage a little more.
And that's all she wrote, man.
It's
And on
good.
that note, this has been a High Voltage. Thank you for watching.
Or just
Goodbye.
Voltage, depending on
Or just
what
Voltage,
you
depending
want.
on what
whatever you-
region and-
yeah, depending on how Mandela affected you are.
Goodbye.
Bye,
forever.
everyone.